How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at The Bell Witch Haunting. This is from 2013. It was directed by Glenn Miller and stars Laura Alexandra Ramos, Kat Alter, and Natale Burtney. And this is a found footage movie put out by the Asylum. Now, I actually remember when I bought this movie, I was at my local half-price books, and I really couldn't believe how cheap they were selling it for. It still has the receipt inside. I got this in February of 2018 for $3.99, and at the time that was like the cheapest I'd ever seen a Blu-ray for. $3.99? Are you kidding me? So being a horror geek and finding a deal like this, I had to pick it up, but putting it in, I remember it being pretty cheesy and bad. Like, the only scene that stuck in my head all these years later was that there was this electrician who had a YouTube channel because it's found footage, so he has to, so we get his point of view, and he gets electrocuted, and the sound the actor makes, the electrocution sound, was so incredibly cheesy and funny to me. And then the dad has to go hit him with a board, which you're supposed to do because the board's non-conductive and you have to separate them. But him making this cheesy noise and then getting bonked, that was hilarious to me back in the day. So it's been 7 years and I decided to do a rewatch, and seeing it again now, yeah, it's still not great. This is clear that this was inspired by the Paranormal Activity movies. Those were really popular, so they want to do their own version, but they didn't quite know how to do it or what made them so successful. And the thing with this movie that really gets me is it can't hold a plot. Like, the whole script is so loose and meandering. Something, maybe the daughter's getting possessed, or maybe it's the dad, I don't know. Maybe the basement's scary, but maybe that's not super important. And I don't know, maybe it's the Bell Witch or whatever that's causing these hauntings. There's not a really good line for the plot, and the characters aren't super strong either, and the whole movie just kind of putters through its script. And then the scares, like, the found footage element feels super real when it's just people talking and mulling about, but the moment they try to do anything plot-wise or put in a scare, oh, they come off as so super fake. And some scares in here are super cheesy, and I kinda do love them. But that being said, it never quite hits the so bad it's good classic that it could be, but it is a movie with some cheesy moments, and it's not horrible. And I think the thing with found footage, and maybe I'm weird for saying this, but you can find a bad found footage movie and just kind of relax to it. Is that just me? I don't know, but I find that when a found footage movie is bad but not super great, and you can just kind of put it on and have like found footage ambiance, you know? So if you want something to just pass the time, Bell Witch is something you don't have to put in a ton of brain power for, and you'll get some cheesy moments out of it. So it's not the worst thing ever, but don't expect anything too great. But anyway, before I get ahead of myself, what's the movie about? No significant spoilers, but let's dive in a little bit deeper. We open up with this guy's birthday party. It's the son of the household, and for his birthday he's gotten a new camera, and of course he's going to be filming everything. And his sister also has a camera. She does like a YouTube fashion show, so we get 2 points of view running throughout the house documenting this birthday party. But it turns out they just moved into this house and some strange things are going to be happening. And that's where we get kind of the problem with the scares. The scares are super unbalanced and all over the place. Like, we'll get a scare where the sister and her friends are hanging out having a slumber party, naturally hanging out in their underwear because of course, right? And there'll be a full body apparition of the witch, and they'll get scared by it, but they're not gonna like review the footage and show it to the whole family or anything, because why would you do that? And then later on in the movie, the son will see a lamp flickering, and he'll be like, oh my gosh, the lamp is flickering. And I'm like, your sister has a video of a full body apparition of a witch. I don't think the light bulb's that impressive. And then there'll be other weird moments like a hand popping out from under the porch that I'm pretty sure was comped in later just to make the movie scarier. Yeah, the scares just never feel real. A bed sheet levitates and you can clearly see where the wires have been painted out. Yeah, the scares are in general pretty cheesy. But you also get things like a lot of the kills in this movie are their friends will be at their house and then they'll wander out onto this like dirt road and they'll get killed just outside the house, and the town's one police officer, it's the same guy, Officer Bungalon, will always find them. And it's kind of repetitive, but you also don't know like how much they know. You know, like every now and then they'll reference something happened. I'm like, wow, you guys underreacted to that so much. I just thought you didn't know your friend was dead. So yeah, it's a little unclear there. But then you get like the meat of the story is the daughter's having these night terrors, and in turn the son decides to put hidden cameras all over the house, including one in his sister's bedroom, and I don't think she knows about it. But hey, now we get the Paranormal Activity 2 stuff, right? So the brother is concerned with the sister, and they try to look up and figure out what's going on, and it turns out it's the Bell Witch, I guess. Like, the movie really doesn't care. The spirit could be anything, and that kind of sucks because, like, the Bell Witch has such a distinct story and iconography, and I would have loved to hear more about the Bell Witch and gone into lore-specific stuff, but they just kind of go on the internet, do a cursory run-through of the Bell Witch lore, and then say, oh yeah, our house was built on land owned by this guy, so I guess we're haunted too, and that's our tenuous connection. I mean, we get a witch-looking ghost, I guess, but like, for real, you're putting Bell Witch in the title, can we learn a little more about the Bell Witch? And then they also say like, oh, our house is 100 years old. It's not. It's not. You're trying to fit in, but you really don't. And yeah, if you're coming to this movie for Bell Witch stuff, you will be disappointed. But anyway, they figure that out. They cycle through the nights like Paranormal Activity. Spooky stuff starts to happen, but it is just kind of random and all over the place. Big scares will happen before little scares. The idea that the daughter might be being possessed is kind of there and then downplayed. And is it night terrors? Is it something more? We're not gonna really focus or try to figure that out. And then also sometimes it might be the dad, because forget focusing on a character, right? Maybe they're both being possessed. I don't know. And yeah, it just kind of meanders in this super uneven way until we get to the climax sequence. Overall, it's totally watchable and kinda cheesy. And as I said earlier, when you get these bad found footage movies, it is good to just put them on, relax, and not pay too much attention to them. As it stands, it's a found footage, maybe not B-side, maybe C-side, but it's not terrible, and it does provide a glimpse into when the Asylum actually cared a little bit more than they do now. Like, this movie's a little more raw and a little more over the top, you know, they're swearing and people get disemboweled, and, you know, it is a little more of an R movie than the Asylum tends to make now, because like now they just have soulless, wooden-eyed actors with bad CGI behind them. At least they cared a little bit here. It's not great, but at least they cared a little. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my found footage movies playlist where you can see me talk about other movies like VHS Rec or Paranormal Activity. But if you're fans of The Asylum, you can see my review for Paranormal Entity, which came out a lot better than this one. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.